Am I the a-hole for divorcing my wife because I'm attracted to her daughter? I really wish I was in any situation but this one. I, a 55 male, have been married just 1.5 years to my wife, 54 female, but we dated for 8 years prior to tying the knot, living together for 4 of those years. She has a 24-year-old daughter, Zora, who works nearby and is choosing to live in our rental with us and not deal with San Francisco rental market on a part-time receptionist income. I have nothing against her daughter making that decision, and I even told her that was a smart financial decision. However, when I signed up for this living arrangement, I never anticipated that my agreement would come back to haunt me. So let's tear off the bandage. Zora is beautiful. I could say a lot of great things about other aspects of her, but the issue at hand is that I am disturbed at the many thoughts I have of Zora. I was not attracted to her when I first met her. Since her mom and I moved in 3 months after she went to college, I did not see that much of her to have this to be a problem. But since she's been living with us full time, the thoughts have festered. I have tried to get help. The first therapist I talked to gave off the impression she was trying to hide her disgust, and by session 3, there were long, uncomfortable silences. I stopped going. The second therapist referred me to another office. The office made it hard to get an appointment, but apparently it wasn't just an issue for me, so I grappled with my feelings, which was there before our marriage and got worse after the wedding. My wife didn't understand why I was so cold. I was so desperate, I went to our pastor for guidance. His suggestions were for me to find Zora her own place and pay for it. I had been tempted to do that. He even said to get her to wear modest clothing, but Zora could wear a potato sack and it wouldn't make a difference. I lived every day in guilt. Zora sees me unpolite, but distant, and it hurts me to hurt her. It also began affecting my job, which was going to pay for our new house and everything else. I tried confessing in internet forums, but they were counterproductive, with people trying to justify my feelings for their own benefit. I finally had enough and sought a lawyer. I told my wife I wanted a divorce last week and told her why. She burst into tears. I never wanted to hurt her, especially since her last husband cheated. She asked if I had those thoughts before the wedding, and I said yes. I told her I was moving out, and she said that was for the best, but that she wanted to have some sort of closure and begged me to seek therapy with her. I said I tried, but to no great effect. She was then too hysterical to say anything, but agreed Zora could never find out. Now I want to move forward and file, but my wife tried calling me, but I don't want to answer. I'm so tired, and I know from her perspective I'm just abandoning her, but I feel I've done enough damage. I'll miss her and Zora, and with Zora, I do not mean in a sexual way. She is a great person I've gotten to know. Am I the a-hole? I don't know what's with all these stories with men being in love with their stepdaughters, but it's just getting out of hand. I just feel like I always thought, I don't know if it's just maybe my innocence or my ignorance, but I always thought whether you're a man or woman, if you get married to somebody, no matter how old their child is, that you will just see them as also your child because you're with their parent. Why would you be attracted to your stepchild when you're literally in a romantic relationship with their parent? But I'm glad he, removed himself from that situation. And also the mom, it's one thing to feel sad and to feel shocked. Why is she trying to work things out? If anything, because she feel disgusted and try to move the divorce along. I don't get it. Am I the a-hole for refusing to meet my husband's daughter or take my son to meet her? My husband got our former friend pregnant while we were separated, so now he has a 7-month-old daughter. He doesn't plan to be involved in her life, but he's currently working with a lawyer to establish paternity because I'm forcing him to do it. The girl's mother has asked me if I wanted to meet her and introduce our 3-year-old son to his little sister, but I've said no. My husband's family on his mother's side have been very accepting of the baby and her mother, so they've been pressuring me to meet her since she's technically my stepdaughter, and they think I need to be willing to help foster a relationship between her and my son, as we all know my husband isn't going to do it. I was upset, so I told them my son would never have a relationship with her and I wouldn't ever meet her because they kept pressuring me to. Now everybody thinks I'm an awful B-word who hates a baby when I don't. It also doesn't help that my husband has cut off financial help to the side of his family because they made me cry, which has only made them hate me more. We had a great relationship before all of this, so I feel crap, and I'm wondering if I am the a-hole. The fact that she's comfortable with her husband ditching and not being a father to the baby that he willingly conceived is crazy. Because if she can convince a grown man to leave his child and not talk to his child and not take care of his own flesh and blood, then what will another woman do when they're no longer together? And from this whole situation, I don't think they're going to be together for that long, because it doesn't even sound like they're standing on much of a foot to begin with. Is that how you say it? Much of a foot? Like, what the hell? Oh, abandoning your baby because I'm feeling some type of way because you had it with a former friend while we were separated. Did she hear herself? I feel my BA was taking advantage of my kindness. I confronted him. Am I the a-hole? My boyfriend, 33 male, and I, 38 female, have been dating since summer 2021, and since then he has stayed at my apartment every day and every night. He owns his own home less than a mile away, which he said he purchased for his 3 roommates who were looking for a place to live. He only charges them $300 or so a month. Out of the goodness of his heart, I have only been there twice for house parties, which I essentially invited myself to when we were getting to know each other. I never have asked him for money, not for rent, not for utilities, not for the grocery I always have to buy. He never goes shopping for any food or household supplies. 2 separate instances, I asked if he could get toilet paper. Once he bought a chintzy 4-pack at the gas station he was already stopping at, which I'm assuming is just to tie us over until I get more realistic packages. And the second time, he brought in a big garbage bag of almost empty rolls from his bathroom at work, which they save. He doesn't cook and said in the past it's not important to him, or he doesn't think of it, yet will certainly eat the food I buy and make. For the most part, I was more than happy to provide, but at times goes on, I feel like I'm carrying the mental load of living together. My apartment is in disarray. I can never get it under control with only me doing any work. I have mentioned this part above to him over the last year, and sometimes it will result in him sheepishly doing one sink full of dishes and leaving the rest for me, or would tell him he has to figure out dinner for us for one night out of the 7 because I'm working late. That means he's door dashing us something at 8 p.m. It's things like that make me start to resent him and kill my attraction. It hurts my feelings. For such a nice guy, how can he be so thoughtless? It feels thoughtless to me anyway. I told him tonight I feel it would be best if we return to our old living situation. Him at his house and me alone here. I expressed I can't or won't handle all the responsibility of our lives co-inhabiting. I also said it really hurt my feelings that for Christmas he got me Durania, which he waited to give to me on Christmas. Meanwhile, the sink has been backing up for a month, and instead of ladles. He didn't say anything. He just sat there and stared at me. I asked if he had anything to say, any feelings about it. He said he didn't know what to say. I felt insulted. Update. So since this, he was still in my living room for a few hours. I've been in bed with COVID, and laying there I got miffed. I walked back and asked twice more. You have nothing to say? No words? No, I'm so sorry you feel that way. What can I do? Nothing. No best, no emotion. I can't believe it. That was supposed to be my best friend. I told him we're breaking up and he needs to go home now. I'm honestly really surprised and hurt by his lack of reaction. I should have known. I don't know why OP feels the need to come on Reddit text as if she's being used, because clearly it's clear as day that she's being used and he doesn't care about her. I don't understand how he's your best friend when you literally listed all of these horrible things he does, and how he doesn't care about your feelings or your emotions. Like, how is that a best friend? I feel like she's just making him up in her head to be this great guy, but in reality he's terrible. I don't know. I hope she gets rid of him, because who the hell wants to take care of a grown man?